Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we take a whole stack of sources and research and really try to boil them down into the key takeaways for you. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of parents grapple with, maybe quietly. How do you talk to your kids about their bodies, about puberty, sexuality, especially around a kind of tricky age, around 10 years old? So our goal here is to unpack a specific parent guide, one that focuses on joy, pleasure, self-touch, and sexuality for that age group. Think of this as, well, your shortcut to feeling genuinely clued in and hopefully more confident about a topic that can feel pretty big and overwhelming.
Absolutely. And if you're listening because you want to get up to speed quickly but, thoroughly on this sensitive area, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're going to offer some really practical, evidence-backed ways to approach this,
Yeah.
helping you navigate it all with maybe a bit more ease and purpose.
Okay, so let's get the big idea out right away. Something this guide really hammers home is that kids tend to do, well, significantly better when parents talk about this stuff. Bodies, sexuality, even pleasure early, often, and matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
In an age-appropriate way, of course. And here's the kicker, the maybe unexpected part. These ongoing conversations, they're actually linked with kids making more responsible choices later. It's not about pushing them, it's about preparing them. So, okay, if that's the big idea early, often, matter-of-factly, what's one of the first things this guide hits on about that early aspect? What surprises parents?
Right. It dives straight into the developmental timing. And what often catches parents off guard is just how early puberty can actually start. We're talking some kids beginning to show physical changes by 9 or 10. Seriously.
Wow, 9 or 10.
Yeah. And obviously with those physical changes come, a whole cascade of new feelings, new curiosities, a different kind of body awareness that just wasn't there before.
That's huge. Yeah. Because if you're thinking teenagers when this all starts, but it's happening at 10, you're already playing catch-up.
Yeah.
And I guess those new feelings and curiosities, they must just kind of explode then.
They really do. And this is where the guide offers something, well, pretty groundbreaking for a lot of people. It states very clearly that masturbation or self-touch, it's not just common in childhood, it's perfectly normal. It's often a natural discovery, especially as puberty starts, of what feels good. The source is really direct. It's a normal, healthy behavior. The family focus should be on privacy and hygiene, not on shame.
That is such a departure from how many of us were probably raised, right? Where anything about pleasure was just hidden or shameful. So for a parent hearing this, it's not just a fact, it's almost like permission to normalize something healthy for their child. Okay, so beyond that specific point, what else does good evidence-based sex ed for this age group look like according to the guide?
It's pretty comprehensive, actually. It covers using the correct terms for body parts, solid info about puberty itself, the basics of boundaries and consent, which is critical, respect for yourself and others, and yes, acknowledging that self-pleasure is a thing and it belongs in private. It's about building that whole picture.
Okay, those are powerful ideas, but the real challenge is often, what do I actually say? Does the guide give parents actual words they can use, some practical language?
It absolutely does. That's one of its strengths. It suggests using short, kind of neutral sentences, keeping your tone relaxed, and it offers these really useful scripts you can borrow. So for just normalizing the body changes, it suggests something like, your body's starting to change because of puberty. That's totally normal. If anything ever worries you or feels weird, I'm here.
Simple, direct, reassuring.
Yeah.
I like that. And what about that tricky one we just talked about, naming pleasure without making it weird or shameful?
Yeah, that's a sensitive one. The script handles it really nicely. Lots of people discover touching their own body can feel good. That's called masturbation. It's normal, and it's something we only do in private, like in the bathroom or your bedroom, with clean hands.
Okay, matter of fact, and private.
Exactly. And then for setting those essential privacy rules and boundaries, you could say, our family rule is private parts are the parts covered by a swimsuit. We don't show or touch other people's private parts, and we don't let others touch ours. We also don't talk about other people's bodies in a teasing way.
I really appreciate how practical those are. Takes the pressure off figuring out the perfect words yourself.
Yeah.
And you mentioned boundaries and consent. The guide digs into that more too, right? It's not just big stuff, it's everyday things.
Precisely. Consent is huge, and the guide stresses it applies to everything. From asking for a hug to what happens in DMs online, their phrasing is really good. Consent means you ask first, you listen, and you respect no. And super important, you can change your mind anytime. Your no also matters just as much. It even suggests practicing this with everyday examples, like asking before borrowing something. It's a great way to build that understanding early.
That makes so much sense. What about the online world? Media, maybe even pornography exposure? That's a massive worry for parents. How does the guide suggest tackling that?
Yeah, it's a big one. The source advises a really open, non-judgmental stance, like saying, sometimes videos or pictures might pop up online that show naked bodies or sex stuff. Those are usually made for adults and often don't show what real healthy relationships look like. If you ever see anything like that, you're not in trouble. Please tell me so I can help you deal with it. It really highlights setting up filters, yes, but even more, keeping those communication lines wide open. No shame, no fear.
Okay, so you've got the scripts, you're trying to be open, but how do you actually create that feeling, that environment where your kid feels genuinely safe to come to you? That often feels like the hardest piece, doesn't it?
It really can be. The guide suggests doing regular feelings check-ins. You know, just casually saying things like, you might be noticing lots of new feelings lately. Maybe curious, excited, sometimes embarrassed. Those are all okay. If you ever feel confused or pressured about anything, I really want to know. It helps normalize that emotional roller coaster that can come with these changes, making it feel safer to share the tough stuff.
And you know what really anchors all these suggestions for me is knowing they're backed up by research and what major professional groups say. It's not just one guide's opinion.
Exactly, it's reassuring. Like when we talk about self-touch, professional pediatric sources consistently describe masturbation in childhood and adolescence as, well, common and typically healthy. Their guidance is all about privacy rules, not punishment. And the research, it consistently shows a high lifetime prevalence. It just confirms this is a normal part of human experience for many people.
Right. And the whole idea of age-appropriate sex ed, big organizations like UNESCO, the UN's education arm and the World Health Organization, their evidence-based guidelines totally support these ongoing age-matched talks that cover accurate info, values, boundaries, the whole package. And the timing piece, the American Academy of Pediatrics' own guidance, Bright Futures notes puberty can start by 9 or 10. It just reinforces that need to start talking early. You can't wait.
Building right on that, the source gives these super practical house rules that help, and a great tip is suggesting you actually write them down together with your child. That collaboration makes them stickier.
And I like that, co-creating the rules.
hmm
So what are they?
There are four main ones. First, privacy. Self-touch. Only in private spaces like your room or the bathroom. Wash your hands. If someone comes in, you cover up or change. Simple. Second, respect and consent. Always ask first, listen to the answer, accept no, and expect others to accept your no, non-negotiable. Third, no secrets about bodies. This is key. We don't keep secrets about touching bodies from trusted adults. Surprises like birthday presents. Fine. Body secrets. Not okay. And fourth, media boundaries. No looking for sexual stuff online. If it pops up accidentally, tell a grown-up you trust immediately. Plus, using filters and having rules about shared devices.
Those are so clear and actionable. Love the nobody secrets one especially. Okay, but inevitably parents worry. When should they worry? Most curiosity is normal, but are there red flags the guide points out?
Yes, and it's important to know the difference. The guide advises reaching out to your pediatrician or maybe a child therapist if you see certain patterns. Things like sexual behaviors that seem coercive or cause pain or involve other kids who can't really consent, or where there's a big age gap, like 4 or more years. Also, behaviors that seem compulsive, like they can't stop, or are happening in public even after coaching about privacy, or seem tied to real distress or maybe past trauma. Authoritative pediatric sources generally agree. Evaluation is needed if there's coercion, significant age gaps, or persistent behavior linked with distress.
Okay, good to have those clear lines. The guide also dives into some FAQs, right? Questions parents are maybe thinking but hesitant to ask out loud.
Definitely. A huge one is, if I talk about pleasure, am I going to encourage them to have sex?
Right, big fear.
And the answer from the research is consistently no. Actually, good quality sex ed and open communication with parents are linked with healthier decisions later on, not earlier sex. The key is keeping it factual and right for their age.
Okay, that's reassuring. What else?
Another common one. What words should we actually use? And the advice is firm. Use the proper anatomical terms. Penis, vulva, testicles, breasts. It's not about being clinical. It boosts their body literacy. It helps them tell you clearly if something feels wrong or hurts. It's empowering.
Makes sense.
And how much detail do they need at age 10? The focus should really be on the body changes they're experiencing or about to, the emotions that come with it, privacy rules, consent basics, and just acknowledging that self-touch exists and it's private. The source also adds, if they ask how pregnancy happens, you can give a simple, accurate answer to the question they ask. No need for a massive lecture, just answer what they asked.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
So to make all this feel less like one giant scary talk and more like just part of life, the guide suggests some small, steady habits. What does that look like day to day?
Yeah, it's about making it normal, not monumental. So, first tip, keep the conversations short and have them often. Think car rides, walking the dog, maybe pausing a TV show and asking, hey, what did you think about that? Another great idea is using books as a bridge. There are some really good, inclusive puberty guides for this age. Read them together or side by side. It takes the focus off just you talking.
Oh, that's smart. Takes the pressure off.
Yeah,
And checking in after specific events makes sense too.
totally. The guide suggests checking in after sleepovers, or maybe if they've been watching a lot of YouTube or TikTok. Even after health class at school, just a quick anything interesting come up, and maybe the most powerful habit. Model consent yourself every day. Ask before you give a hug. If they say no, respect it. That shows them what consent looks like in action. Way better than just talking about it.
That constant modeling is so key.
And to really pull it all together, the source offers this fantastic one-page script you can print. It's like a cheat sheet that hits all the core messages we've talked about. It starts with, bodies are amazing and private. As your body changes, you might notice new feelings that are pleasant. That's normal. Then, self-touch is something many people do. Our family rule is only in private spaces and with clean hands. And consent means you ask, listen, and respect the answer every time. And finally, it includes, if you see sexual pictures or videos, or if someone talks about bodies in a way that feels weird or wrong, tell me you're never in trouble for telling. Plus, that crucial open door. Questions are welcome anytime. If I don't know an answer, we'll find out together.
Wow, having that on one page, that feels really manageable. So, okay, let's bring it back to the listener. After digging into all this, what's the main takeaway? The source has a final, really reassuring point, doesn't it? You don't need to aim for the perfect talk.
Exactly. That pressure is off. What kids do need are lots of small, honest conversations over time. Naming pleasure without making it shameful, while really clearly teaching about privacy and consent, that gives your 10-year-old a much healthier, much safer foundation for the teenage years and beyond. It really boils down to building trust and keeping that door open, little by little.
So here's something to maybe mull over after listening. How might weaving these small, consistent conversations about bodies, feelings, and consent into just your everyday family life? How are that not just prepare your child for puberty, but actually fundamentally shape how they relate to their own body and how they relate to others as they grow up?